Alright. Hopefully everything is working. I haven't done this since last year. And that's the last of that joke that I'm able to tell. Let's see. Okay, that's good. So I believe the last one we did was Dugan's Dungeon Revisited. This looks very familiar, I remember that. And I don't remember this. So here is Duncan the Graveyard Guard by Calor, a little experiment with a custom monster. Alright. Yes, this is the story again. Gather around. I will tell you how Duncan the Graveyard Guard escaped the lair of the carrion beetles. I don't know how you'll do that if you're dead. One rainy night, Duncan was guarding the graveyard again. He used to think of his duty as easy money, but not anymore. You see, the place was haunted. Boy, this place gives me the creeps. He had good reason to be afraid. Many people had gone missing lately, rumored to be eaten by ghosts. Suddenly, Duncan heard a loud noise. Eek! Startled, Duncan fell right into an open grave, and through the bottom of it. Have fun. Alright. Duncan hit the ground hard. He had fallen into a cave filled with human remains. There was no way to reach the hole in the ceiling again. A disgusting carrion beetle was chewing on some old bones. Then it decided Duncan looked more nutritious. Alright. That's just a brain. Okay. Interesting way of using a brain as a narrator. With full force, Duncan stabbed the monster, penetrating its thick chitinous exoskeleton. Stabbed it, huh? Didn't slice it, right?
You haven't seen the last of me!
That's interesting. I never know how to pronounce that word that starts with CH. No doubt these monsters are behind the disappearances and the ghost stories. Oh, I forgot he has a French accent. No doubt these monsters are behind the disappearances and the ghost stories. My French accent is not very good. First place tie. Duncan studied the new threat carefully. Carrion beetles weren't afraid of him, more like suspicious. They tried to approach him diagonally rather than orthogonally like roaches do. Huh. Sometimes it almost felt like carrion beetles were capable of planning ahead. They would stealthily hide behind corners, lurking for him. This is a very different this is a very different interpretation of what it is to go for a monster to prioritize diagonal movement from what I came up with for wasps. These seem to get stuck in a different sort of way, I guess. I don't know how to describe it exactly. I'm not completely sure I understand how they work, like, as far as trying to chase you mechanics go. This move is a stab move. If I had a spear, this would count. Spears equal stab moves, and this is a stab move. Someone didn't quite program that right. I don't know exactly what the rules are for what it considers a stab, but Draught in general would have considered, like, If I'm facing this way and I move that way, then whatever's here is considered to be stabbed as far as general Draught is concerned, because a spear equals a stab move and a pickaxe equals a slash move, basically, if that makes any sense. Am I unable to complete this room because of that being a thing? Did I have to deal with that first or something? As far as I can tell, this game's Okay, so I can't do whatever I did last time to let them get where they were when I wasn't able to kill them. So I think I just need to not do that. I guess I just need to do those two first. Anyway, the rules for what carrion beetles consider a stab seem to involve the player being like a step away and then moving exactly in the direction that they're facing and the direction the beetle is in at the same time. I wouldn't know how to program it if you told me to, not right away. So there is something to be said for this being very cleverly programmed in order to behave quite the way it's intended, although I would say it's different rules from actually being stab-only monsters. Okay, I have no idea how I'm supposed to kill those two. They don't seem to be killable without just getting killed myself. Maybe I have to move them one step? Oh yeah, okay, that's it. I have to move them one step, and then that guy will pull himself out, and I'll be stuck again. Okay, maybe I needed to take a different path. Yeah. This isn't entirely intuitive, I would say. It's interesting, but I wouldn't want to have to deal with this in the middle of a giant crowd of other monsters. Yeah, you just stay there, please. Now you can come out. They don't want to they don't want to step into swords all the same. They still consider that to be a... After hitting the orb, Duncan was ambushed by 5 bloodthirsty carrion beetles.
You haven't seen the last of me!
Rude.
You haven't seen the last of me! You haven't seen the last of me! You haven't seen the last of me!
Well, that doesn't work.
You haven't seen the last of me!
Oh, forget it. This is a matter of strategy, not courage.
You haven't seen the last of me!
There we go. Interesting. Gonna be a no sword turning room in a while. For now, there's this room. Again, if he's there and I move here, that should be a stabbing move. But according to the beetles, it's not. Who knew a rock group would know so little about Draught? Ha. Okay. So what do you want me to do here? The best I can think of is to leave them behind for now, like that, and then kill them on my way back. Well, I can always do this, I guess. I don't know if there's actually a challenge for doing the that part where you let 5 carrion beetles out without leaving for not being a quote-unquote coward, but anyway. I do like that the character is actually responding to the narration, which isn't something we got when the official Drawd had some narration. So the idea I had for wasps when I said, oh, they move diagonally, is that they really only move diagonally. So like, if you're directly across from them, then they will try to make an up, down, up, down, up, down pattern, rather than going straight toward you orthogonally like a normal monster would. That was the idea I had. And then, like, if you're exactly diagonal up them, but there's an object in the way, then they get stuck. Or, I don't know. I'm still indecisive. Duncan realized that he must do battle while facing south. Well, yeah, no doubt. What was I saying? I'm still unsure if wasps ought to have some kind of, like, orthogonal sliding that they do when there's an obstacle in the way. So how am I supposed to kill these? Any of these? Okay, I think I just need to lead them around a bit. Which works much better than it would for roaches. Just the way that a crowd of them behaves lends itself very well to forming an orthogonal wall of them in such a way that it's really hard to just pick one out from the crowd like I'm trying to. Which I guess you could say might be the intended purpose of them moving orthogonally. I'm not sure. Oh well, if I run around in a circle long enough, then eventually they'll all die. That's what I'm getting out of this. Come on.
You haven't seen the last of me.
This is kind of annoying, mostly. Alright, maybe I should start moving back here. No. There's still that one that forms a wall with him. I think this is a move order problem. And I don't know how to fix that. Like, something about the way the move orders are arranged makes it so that if the wrong ones are aligned next to each other, then there's no way to get them apart enough to stab the front one, for example. Oh, come on. How is this supposed to work? I mean, the first 3 or 4 died just from me going in a circle enough. There we go. I guess I just wasn't doing the right kind of circle before. Weird. Ortho squares, oh boy. And here's a room about leading them onto buttons, which is exactly the kind of thing I would advise against making a room about if your goal was ever to... I mean, I would advise an architect who's made a custom element this unintuitive to indirectly control against making a room about controlling them quite this precisely, if that makes any sense. I mean, I kind of understand how to keep them from leaving their holes, but not nearly as well as I would for a Wubba, for example. Well, it helps that that these holes are not quite diagonally aligned with each other. If they were, it would be a complete nightmare, because you'd always be leading one and have the other slip out. So good on that. Oh, well, that's going to happen, but maybe I should aim to get this one over there instead. I don't know, this isn't too bad. It's just still a little weird. Part of the problem is, even if I were to push the puzzle mode button, I wouldn't really be able to get a good read on what I'm looking at, because it's harder to see diagonal lines with the puzzle mode. Okay, this last button is proving to be a real annoyance. Just keeping everyone on their buttons while trying to move to get the guy for the last button is an annoyance.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Like, much more of an annoyance than it has any need to be. Okay, well, maybe if I get everyone out first, this will be easier. Hang on. The guy's just not in the right position in there. Okay. Now you'll come out.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Oh, come on, you. Stay in your place. Okay, I know what I did. I let him out that way. Didn't want to do that. Okay, so maybe now that they're all in the main area, I can get the last one in the right hole, and there we go. Okay, now for this. A nightmare scenario of being surrounded by them, of course.
You haven't seen the last of
Again,
me.
that should be a stab move. And the fact, like, I don't know. If stab moves were consistently all stab moves and not just the one particular meaning of stab move that it actually allows, I could probably figure this out much more easily, because I could just pretend that I had a spear. And pretend you have a spear is much easier than describing the rule for what a stab is as far as these monsters are concerned. Although I'm sure it would be much harder to program, because this is undoubtedly something that combines information about the player's facing and location relative to the monster. Like it says, oh, if the player was a tile away from me and facing the right way, and now he's right next to me, then I explode, or something like that. Again, it's not that I don't think this is cleverly programmed, it's that the result for when you're able to stab them isn't as intuitive to a person who's already learned to do things like control the spear, for example, as it should be. Like it's like they have a completely different form of vulnerability from anything you've encountered before. Even instances of like Roach while you have a spear you could consider a special kind of vulnerability. Maybe? But I guess that might be it, yeah.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Because if you did this with a spear, and if there was a mirror here, I don't think this with a spear would kill the mirror either. But that's a little bit more obtuse. That's not obtuse. That's a little more obscure than just pretend you have a spear, I guess, is what I'm saying. I have no idea how to solve this part. Like, this by itself probably could have been a room by itself without having the manipulation part before it. Because this is... I have no idea what this is supposed to work like. I mean... like, within a move of killing one of them, I'm immediately surrounded in such a way where I can't kill anything else. Like, which way should I even be facing for this? Is there some magic way to get them stuck on each other that makes this not happen? On the positive side, I will say I like the art for these. The art for these is really, really nice. It really looks like an actual monster that you have to deal with, you know? maybe if I were to actually finish creating one of the several ideas for custom monsters I had, I would probably go to the person who made this
You haven't seen the last of me.
and ask them if they would be interested in getting graphics in there, because they're very good graphics. Unless, of course, this graphic here is just taken from somewhere that already existed or something. Which is hard to say for sure if that's true. And the only thing I can think of is if there were like a fifth beetle, then it would be reasonable for me to like lead it through there and over here so it would hit the button while I'm somewhere else. That's the only way I could possibly see this being solvable, because otherwise this is just nonsense. Like, this doesn't work. There's no way to solve this right here. You're just too surrounded.
You haven't seen.
Once you push the button and you make any moves at all, there's no time. By the time you kill at least one of them, you have no room to move and no room to move your sword. Like, I could handle this if I could make it like over to the hole over there or something, but there's no way to do that. You have to kill at least one on your way out, or I don't know, maybe you don't, but even not killing one, I don't see any way that I can get out there fast enough to not be completely surrounded before I make it to the hole. So what does it want me to do here? I really have no idea. But, you know, I did some rooms with this, enough to form an opinion at least. I think this is probably a pretty good hold, but it's so linear that, like, okay, if you're introducing a new custom monster, then being linear at first makes sense. I would say go through the third room up until maybe the third room here is reasonable to be completely linear. I'd say about here or so, I would be more inclined as an architect to start opening up and let the player try lots of different rooms instead of being stuck on a single rail, trying several rooms all of the same. Like maybe all the way through this one, which requires you to get kind of a good understanding of how it moves or something. But around here, I would say you probably should have opened up the hold and made it okay for the player to try other rooms in case of a situation like this where you just have a single piece of the puzzle that's impossible for me to solve. Like, I don't know what magic sequence the author had in mind when he built this, or found after building this in testing, and decided that it was good enough as a solution, but I can't find it because I don't know what it is. So this is where I have to stop for this hold, but I think it is a very interesting one. Okay, yeah, this was built in. This was apparently built in Gunthrow era, which means that there was no spear to get an idea of what a stab move was, I guess. Anyway. You could argue maybe that the skew stab is not really as hard of a stab as a regular stab, and that's why it doesn't work. I don't know. So here's Dungeon Country by Emmanuel, and the description is dot. Just a dot. King Dugan's dungeon based. The description here is comma. We're in PLCE town, whatever that means. I guess I will go north. Here's some Wraithwings. Oh man. I'm so used to trying to kill carrion beetles after just like 6 rooms or so that I tried to for just a second there I was thinking about killing the Wraithwing and I wasn't thinking about it correctly, if that makes any sense. I was like, oh, I need to do... Oh wait, no I don't. I need to move in a certain way to be able to stab it. What is going on here? Let me see. No. Okay, I think you just have to push the queen north, actually. There was no particular reason for me to start the room over again. So If I go all the way up here, then I can push the queen into that little mini room. But what I should do instead is place the mimic first. That's not where I wanted you to go. Whatever, I'll deal with you after the queen. Ta-da! No more queen. No more Wraithwings. Room's done. Next, 39th place tie. I don't know what all this mess is. Okay, there's sort of an emphasis on using a mimic for a few particular things, it seems like. I'm not sure what the mimic's for in this room exactly. I think... I don't know. Just get out of my face, please. Thank you, bye. Not sure what that's about. So I have to drop all 3 trapdoors first, and then I can use the mimic. And the mimic's going to need to kill that spider and both of those roaches. How's he going to do that? Just get rid of that guy first. Seems like I'll have to start in here. There we go. Okay, now just need to get around to where the spider is, which is very helpful if I can see where the spider is. That'll do it. Maybe. Almost. Not quite. There we go. Done. I don't know, these rooms aren't too bad for being completely undescribed. Kind of interesting little mimic puzzle stuff. Hi! Really, really long passageway. Do you have a purpose, really, really long passageway? I guess this room is just run through and kill the queen and then kill the brain and stuff. There's not nearly enough roaches being spawned to really be a problem here. Bye, brain. So I guess the other passage is just specifically so you can go west. I think maybe instead of going west, I'm going to see what's to the south of the room I started in. If indeed there is anything there. Just because of how tedious it looks to go west in that room. Ah, there is a way here. And, oh, hi, spiders. Hi, spiders. What do I do about you? must be missing something about how this room is supposed to work. Maybe if I... No? I don't know then. There's this. I don't know why there's this, but there is. So how am I supposed to solve this one? Oh, wait, duh. Sorry. Okay. I know it. I thought somewhere in my head I was under the impression that I needed to drop all the trapdoors to get to the spiders at all, which was obviously not true. So the architect got me on that one. Alright, so that's what's to the south. I guess now I have no choice but to try the tedious path. I don't miss our tedious path-making days of architecture. I'm really glad that for the most part, things made nowadays don't do this unless they're in a troll contest or something. Like, there's no purpose to this whatsoever. If you had, I don't know, epic music playing during this and like something going on, or I don't know, whatever, even then I'd be hard pressed to say that it was interesting. It's just kind of dull. Anyway, is this... what is this? Well, I can enter here and I can drop the trapdoors. I think this is just a pure trapdoor maze. A pure drop all the trapdoors puzzle, I believe. And that's what it is. And it opens 3 more ways to go. Hi! This. Open only one of these orbs open the yellow door. You mean opens? Opens? A clue, it is one of the last 3 line from here to Roach Line. Whatever. I'm just going to use my future powers to determine which orb's the right one. Also not a kind of puzzle that I think I missed. I mean, technically, I don't think I ever even encountered this kind of puzzle, but I'm really glad they don't really exist anymore. I mean, I guess you could technically create a puzzle like that with scripting, but it would be a lot of technology use for something that's not a lot of fun. I don't think anyone would really do it except, again, in a Trollhold entry or something. Okay. This is a really weird room setup. It's like, yeah, you go to the other room so you can unlock the way to do the trapdoor puzzle part in this room, and there was really no purpose to any of that. The only thing it maybe conceivably accomplished was giving the queen slightly more time to spawn a few more roaches, which didn't really contribute anything in the way of difficulty to the whole level thing, room. Room is the word I was looking for the first time around. Let's just go here. Hi, tar stuff. Is this a tar stuff trapdoor bonanza? I see it. I spy a trapdoor tar stuff jamboree. Where are the trapdoors? I think, yeah. I see a line of trapdoors over here. I see another line of trapdoors up there. Oh, and there's one right here, I guess. Have like this automatic reflex to dealing with a three tall. This right here, this motion I've done so many times I have it like pre-programmed in my brain. So when I need to cut tar of the same size in a different way because of the trapdoors, I have to like stop myself from continuing to follow that programming. It's kind of weird. How do I actually kill the queen? I guess I just need to push her out to that arrow there, and go to the arrow. Oh, that's gonna be a tedious. I should go around top because I've already opened the tar stuff up here, so I don't have to worry about not being able to get to the roaches easily. Oops. There we go. And here's this corridor I saw earlier. So I guess if you hadn't gone to the south at any point, that would be a hint that you can go to the south for a player who didn't think they could for some reason. Anyway, here's some mothers here. I'm just gonna well, that was smart. Let's just there's nothing really to worry about with these things. They're only slightly more annoying to cut through after they've grown fully. That was pretty easy. Alright, let's see. It's too bad we don't have macros in DROV yet. Like where I don't actually know the definition of macro, but like the idea I have in my head is that like you would have something where I would enter the combination east, east, north, southwest, for example, and I could record that and have it to where whenever I push the Q key or something, well, not when I push the Q key because I use that as my undo button, but like whenever I push the L key, Bthrow will automatically make that set of movements. Or better still, make a set of movements that are like that, but adjusted to which way he's facing when he starts doing it. Like if he's facing east, then he would go east, east, north, south, west, or whatever. But if he's facing north or something, then it's different. What is going on here? Oh, you can... okay, never mind. I was reading that a bit wrong because of the diagonal a diagonal exit being available that it didn't initially look like was. That's all. And then there's a diagonal exit from this area after you drop all the trapdoors, which is why you want to do this one second, and that's basically the whole puzzle. Is do this one second. And here's why. Anyway, granted, understanding why you need to do the 1 second is at least a little bit interesting. I can't tell. I don't know that they forgot that. I think they just decided to set up the arrows this way because you have an exit that way. Like, I can't tell for sure, but it doesn't seem like they really intended you to have to be dealing with a roach swarm while doing that. 10th place, exit level. Is this the only level, or is it one of 3 levels? Those are the only possibilities. No other possibilities. Those are the only ways to make holes. Oh, Mountain City. Oh, I actually know what that is as opposed to a PCLE. And this one is Dot. Okay, well, I don't actually have any idea how long this goes for, but I don't know that I really want to keep playing it much longer, let's just say. I killed the roach by existing on top of it. Anyway, this is a really strange hold with no descriptions whatsoever. No explanation of what's going on, but a lot of really interesting setups for the time. Like, a lot of interesting, like, kind of you have to think a little bit puzzles here and there. No, like a little bit of old style tedium, but nothing as horrific as we've seen from a lot of early hold type of things. Anyway, here is Dungeon Master by the Architect. Do I get to play D&D? Of course not. 11th guard gets trapped to old dungeon. Okay. I think you mean in the, so this is not just the wrong word, but it's also missing a necessary article. 5 leveled hold. So 5 brains or 5 levels by the Architect. Alright. City beneath. 11th guard is in floor 1. Very descriptive. Sigh. I hate this place. Okay. I'm glad to hear your opinion of it. So, just spitballing here, but I think I'd prefer to be rid of all these horrible things first. If I have to choose what to break stealth for, I would prefer to be killing off all of these water skippers first. Also, I didn't realize everything was brained until just now. But yeah, kill the water skippers first is definitely my preference if you're giving me a choice, which you are, so. Let's just deal with my train of followers here, and then I can go back on the land. Hooray. Well, at least this floor is apparently only 1 room big. What is the point of the power token? I mean, I guess it lets you out, but meh. It lets you enter, okay, yeah. You just have to hit the power token to open the way to these guys, I guess. So it's like, do you want to kill the water skippers first, and deal with a roach crowd, or do you want to kill the roach crowd first, and deal with a crowd of water skippers? Guess which one my option is, since I took it. Anyway. 24th place tie. And at floor 2, wow, water is rising. What? I think maybe that's supposed to be an explanation for why the surrounding area out here is water. That's a really strange way to describe it, though. So what's this do? Okay, so I don't want that to happen, so I guess I need tar. This is not particularly difficult either. Oh, wait a second. Do I have... Oh, no, I don't have stealth. If I had stealth, I could do a cool thing where I just carved out all the tar, carved out a bunch of tar stuff first, and then started killing monsters in the tar stuff, like tar mothers and babies. There we go. Oh, whoops. Okay, maybe I should be a little less reckless with that. Let's just get rid of everything except the mother first, and then I'll be sure to be rid of everything when I killed Mother. There we go. Now. Sigh, why must I write these? You don't have to, you can just put commas and periods instead, and I would really have no idea what was going on. Anyway, this looks like a room where you need to put things in the stuff because of reasons. Yeah, that's gonna be my assumption, is that I need to put the things into stuff because of reasons. So let's see, you eat one brain, and go, not there, go into this hole. At least it's easy to put the things into stuff. You can eat 2 brains. You get a special treat, double brain. And now you're going to be really hard to put into your box. Well, not really hard, but harder. Okay. Do I need to... I don't need to destroy Altar stuff, but I guess I'm doing that anyway. Okay. The really cool put stuff... What the heck? That was a citizen saying clear, not a guard. What was I saying? Does this guy have anything interesting to say?
I have important work to do. Work that is important. Cheers to the Empire!
Oh.
Cheers!
The guard just has the citizens talk things. It's kind of cool. It's kind of dumb. I mean, shouldn't he have more, like, guard-like things to say? With his very polygonal nose? Anyway, yeah, I know, this hold sucks. Don't be so hard on yourself. I love elevators. What elevator? There's no elevator here. Also, hi, Briar. Hi, Briar Timers of Death. Just completely out of nowhere. Here's a Briar Timer that kills you. And prevents you from moving forward. Anyway, this one sucks. Freedom! Well, at least all the... Where'd all these stalwarts come from? I bet... Yep. Those stalwarts were inevitably going to kill that guy. Oh, look at that trippy effect up there, because of, I think... I don't know, I think maybe that's just because of it having the hold totals here alongside that. Anyway. I managed escape at the tower. The 11th Stalwart escaped away from other Slayers, but that's another story? What Stalwart? He was 11th Guard, not 11th Stalwart. Oh, you mean this has a yeah, I guess it looks kind of like it goes up there, I guess. I don't know. One more. At least one more. Dungeon of Broken Orbs. I feel like I've heard of this one. Someone has said something about this one before? I don't know. Beethro received a letter from the Targate Stronghold. He had some unpleasant memories from his last mission there, mostly due to the horrible stench of tar and the mad slayers around. Still, he also remembered the extremely high payment he received for cleaning up the stronghold. Old graphics used with permissions from Caravel Games. Okay, yeah. I may not make it very far in this hold by Rasmus Bjorling, but we'll see. Beethro received a letter from Targate Stronghold. He had some unpleasant, but he finished the... Got it. Okay. Exactly the same as the whole description. Beethro finally reaches the last room of his long journey through the Targate Stronghold. This is not a sequel to anything, is it? After going through an endless series of "Halt, who are you?" and "Ah, you're that Delver guy, Beardo, Beertho, Potkin?" And let's... You're missing an apostrophe in let's. Not forget the even more frequently reappearing, you're late. Do you Smite Masters never keep the time? Head that way. And Botkin, if you still want that reward, you'd better hurry up. Okay. Mr. Birth Buddykin, or was it Birthrow Buddy Pop? Sigh. Beethrow Budkin. Yes, well, that's not really important, is it? As I was saying, you're... Yeah, I know, late. So why don't you hurry up? You seriously ought to take a fast walking course or something. If you could learn not to laze around so much, it would save both you and the one who hires you a lot of time. You know, the more you delay, the longer I have to stand around here like some silly guard. The faster you get out of here, the faster I can get back to my sketches of the new Targate trap system I'm working on. Oh, didn't think you did anything besides standing around like a guard slayer or something. Yes. When there's no one to guard the stronghold against, it would be a complete waste of time to just guard the stronghold. Besides guiding younglings around, we all have lots of important architecture work to do. Now you really ought to hurry up, Birthrow. Look, I'll go at my own pace. And it's Beethrow. Yeah, so that's a 39th Slayer there. Okay. First place tie. In a room that probably shouldn't be scored. Gah, next time the Slayers down here hire me for a job, I should tell them my name is First Exterminator. They ought to remember that. Halt. Who? I'm the Exterminator, alright? Now let me pass. Ah, there you are, Banjo-Kazooie. Or Banjo? Yeah, or whatever it was. You're all clones of 39th. Anyway, let's not waste any more valuable time. Come over here to my desk and I'll tell you the details of your mission. I don't even know what the gobbing mission's about. Quiet! Clears his throat. The Targate business has been booming lately. We have been delivering our architecture work all over the kingdom. We have sold thousands of Targate security systems, and have been involved in the building of many new dungeons. What? So that's why all new dungeons are full of Targates? Yes, I'm glad you noticed. Well, all was going fine, until we realized that those cursed guards at Trapdoor Castle had improved their technology. Without our knowledge, they had been researching arrow rotator tokens. Wait, Trapdoor Castle? Yes, our mortal enemy. Ever since the Targate Overlord founded the stronghold, the Trapdoor guards have been trying to overthrow it. Our forces have met many times. But it's not only a question of pure strength. We need both good defense and trap systems too, and the ones with more money can recruit and build more and faster. The guard's new traps and arrow rotator locks have been selling better than any of our services. That has been an enormous setback for the stronghold. Okay. And what about my mission? Yes, I'm getting to it. Didn't I tell you to be quiet? We needed to bring in more money quick, so we decided to create a research dungeon, concentrating on broken and cracked orbs. Yes, you see, cracked and broken orbs make perfect security systems and traps, and they're very cheap too. We started building the dungeon right away. Over there we placed the only entrance. Far too late, when we were almost finished building the dungeon, we realized that all along, one of the very cheap orbs we brought to create cracked and broken orbs had been used for opening the entrance door to the dungeon. A crack began to appear in the orb, and now we're afraid it will only stand for one more person to enter the dungeon. Huh? So why don't you just crack the entrance open? We've tried that, but unfortunately, it's one of the strongest gates we have ever built. We need that gate open again. All our maps and sketches are down there, as well as our complete traps and rooms. So we had almost given up hope when one of us remembered that he had seen an intact orb in one of the lowest storage chambers. If someone could bring up that orb, we would be able to open the gate again. None of us dared to go, as the lowest storage chambers are located beneath all of our traps and orb combinations. This is a lot of backstory for Go Do the Dungeon, but we remembered that you did a rather good job in the Stronghold last time, okay? So my mission is basically go down in that dungeon and bring up an orb. Not any orb. There will be hundreds of cracked and broken orbs down there. You must bring up the one intact orb. If you do so, we will pay you double for what you got for your last mission here. I'll do it. Good. Go to the tunnel with the craft orb, and I will open it up for you. Just one last question. Why do you keep tar blobs by your desk? Well, I just love the smell of fresh tar. It helps me concentrate on my work. Ugh. I knew I shouldn't have asked. Okay, anyway. Build a trapdoor. I thought the other guys developed trapdoors. Is there a conspiracy here? Oh, and Bilbo Baggins. We also made a quick tutorial about broken orbs for the new Slayers. If you feel unsure about how broken orbs work, you will probably find the tutorial useful. You can reach it from the first level. Heh, I don't think I'm going to need it. Bilbo, mutter. Be back soon. Ha! I destroyed an orb. And so Beethro walked down the long dark stairs knowing that there was no return till he had brought the orb back. Here's the thing. Like, technically, in terms of how many words there are, this has more story. But really, in terms of how much of a story there is, this has exactly as much of a story as the one where all of the descriptions were just random punctuation. I already know what broken orbs do. So there might be a secret room in here. There was an intimation that, what was I saying? There was a suggestion that possibly there might be a secret room down here, and that's the only reason I'm here. Okay. Oh. Whoops. Oops. Oh boy. Did I need to push some of these and not others? I guess I didn't want to hit that one. Okay. Also, I needed to hit that one somehow? How do I... oh. Never mind. Simple as can be. That's what I get for not paying attention. Oh. Again, that's what I get for not paying attention. Or remembering what I did last time when trying to just do what I did last time. Oh. So, what's this about? Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. That explains the bizarre shape of this platform much better. Okay. While affected for a blah blah blah, I know already. That's what I guessed I needed to do right away. Okay. Unflitch. Unflitch. I'm gonna guess that I need you to break an orb, so I'm not gonna kill you right now. Thank you for breaking the orb for me. You can die now. Unflitch movement preferences. Oh, boy. Okay, yeah, Unflitch behave in a special way. It exists. Just in general, I find it completely impossible to know where exactly the places are that I should pace around in to keep a facing enemy like a guard or Unflitch from moving, unless there's some visible guide inside the room itself to tell me that. I don't really have an intuition for the exact shape of that cone. Anyway. So I didn't really see any secret walls around, but that's fine. Anyway, you've got to be kidding me. Why would they use a blue door for their research dungeon? Why would they? Intelligent. Okay. How am I supposed to not die to that? How exactly am I supposed to not die to that? I mean... What's up with this? Alright, hang on. No? Okay. What about this? I don't really understand what's going on with this room at all. Let's see. I guess I just want everything to explode all at the same time, right? Maybe? But I don't want these to explode, I guess. maybe this is what it wants. Yeah, I guess so. Alright then. Also, I'm pretty sure that's not the right way to write the plural of Ontwitch. Like, I don't necessarily know what the right way is, but I'm pretty sure that's not it. So here's a bunch of clones for some reason. This is just weird. This is unreadable. Just look at this mess here. How am I supposed to read all that? Okay, so I don't know. There's no, like, if you wanted me to be able to place something and then not do anything else with it, why didn't you just put decoy potions here? Why clone potions? So we want to destroy this bomb to hit that orb to open this door without closing that door, which means stepping on this, which exists. We also eventually want to blow up this room with a bomb. There is no visible way to light the fuse that leads to this one, except for going, I don't know, except for standing here, I guess, would work. And then there's 5 buttons here. Okay. So someone needs to stand here to light that bomb, that bomb. These bombs don't matter except that they're going to explode, and this is the only place to put the clones that will be useful. So it's a find 5 magical safe spots room, I guess. And once you have those 5 spots in place, then you put the Mimic here and you stand still until all the bombs explode. At least you have this guy stand still. I don't know if the clones can move at that point. And then when everything's exploded, then the clones can go over here. And yeah, you have to stand still because of this button. So once this bomb goes off, then you have to move down 2 and have the Mimic move down 1 and have the Mimic destroy this bomb to kill the brain. And then you move all 5 clones over here to open these doors to let the eye see the real Lethros so he can kill it. So this room is 100% find the safe spots. So that spot looks pretty safe. Ow. Ow. This is really, really annoying. The control that results from having to place a clone and then switch back to Lethro every time, that's really annoying. Anyway. Uh-oh, that's not a safe spot. I think that's a safe spot. You know what? Actually, no. Hold on. I can see which spots are safe if I just put the clones wherever I want first. This is like just controlling this feels bad because I'm having to move my hand all the way everywhere and click on the clone, click on the original Lethro to have him do things. Okay, so let's see which spots don't explode. There's that spot right there, I think is safe. That's not safe. So let's see, where else might be safe? So that spot might be safe. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to do something that be interesting. I'm going to make myself a note of which places are safe. Because honestly, that's not the button I was trying to push. Because honestly, trying to figure it out by like calculating is really tedious and dumb, and I don't want to do that. So let's see. If I look here, I think that spot right there is safe, right? Yeah, okay. So that's here. Right? Right. Okay. So I think also maybe this spot is safe. Okay, that spot's not safe. Never mind. Let's see. So that's the only safe spot between those bombs, I guess. And let's see. Looks a lot like this might be a safe spot. Nope. Not safe. That's the trick to it, is that some places that appear safe from the orange spots is going to still not be safe because of the whole broken orb mechanics business. But okay, this spot here looks okay. Maybe the spot to the east of there? Yeah, okay. This spot right here, to the east of that, safe. Okay. That's 2. This spot looks good right here. That's why I think watching it play out and seeing what happens is probably a better strategy. Alright, so that spot next to the corner there is safe. That's 3 so far. And where else could be safe? Maybe somewhere in this area here, like there perhaps? Let's see. Yeah, this spot's safe. Let's see if I can work out where it is exactly. It's just right here, isn't it? And honestly, not sure about the 5th place, but it seems like it might just be a place adjacent to where I just was. Hold on. Let's see. So not either of those places are there. Not there or there. Not there or there or there. So not here either. Let's see. Yeah, no. Okay, so where is the 5th place? Is it here? Did I mark here? I marked there already. So where else is going to be safe? Maybe somewhere in this region here? Let's see. Looks like this spot's safe right here. So that's right here. There, I think. Hold on. I already forgot what I was looking at. Let's see. Here. So, the black spot there. Oops. Okay, and that's all of the safe places. I have that marked on my other screen. Then I can go back and tediously place all these guys in their spots. So let's see, one goes there. This would have been easier to parse if I had thought to make my screenshot that I was basing everything off of before everything exploded instead of after. I think it's there, and there. That ought to do it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got it. Might as well not waste this time here. Could have done this and then not wasted any time. So, honestly, I'm inclined to call this witness strats because this is exactly how I solve really complicated geometric problems in the witness. I just take a screenshot. The game itself actually has like a camera function built into it of sorts, but it's nowhere near as good as just taking screenshots and using image editing programs. Okay, well... I don't know that I feel like doing much more of this one. I think I'll just go ahead and try another hold, but it's interesting anyway. It seems like it really wants you to, like, calculate out what everything's going to do, but I'm not that inclined to do so. Especially if it's possible to not have to do so, like I did with that room. But hey, I managed to solve a couple of rooms, real rooms in here, you know. Okay, let's just see the next one. Dungeon of Souls by Slava. Slayer avataring sound clips used with permission from Caravel Games. Here's a number. I don't know what the number means. Does the number mean something? You are the 41-ST Slayer. You have entered the dungeon without any exit. Solve it. Okay. How do I enter if there's no exit? 41 Slayer had a really bad day. He chose the wrong way and found himself at the dungeon. Here we are at Ways. That doesn't look like 41st. That looks like 39th. I guess, whatever. I must go, but where? Where is the way? I think there. There's a reason 39th is better than you for 41st. For one thing, it's because you've got the wrong... I don't know. You've got a dash in your name that doesn't belong, let's just say. Anyway... maybe you could ask one of these nice guys where to go. And where now? I must find the way. I forgot. Oh. This is why you'll never make 40th. Because you make mistakes like this. E? I can't believe it. The stairs. In fact, I have no choice as the other way is blocked. iFact? Is that like the new iPhone, but for other purposes? This is the upper dungeon. There are many roaches here. What does this have to do with souls exactly? Yeah, great. Now I found myself in the dungeon without any exit. Sorry. Yeah, great. Now I found myself in dungeon without any exit. I must escape. If it has no exit, how do you hope to escape? The Slayer can eat without Wisp? What?
Finally, how could I take so long?
I really like how 39th's victory for clearing a room is exactly the same as his declaration of, oh, I killed Bithro successfully. Let's see what his click sounds are. Does he have any? Hey, hold on. Maybe I was clicking wrong. No? He has no click sounds? Really? He has so many quotes he could make. People, they're stalwarts. Ah! At least he has a silly sounding bump sound effect. People, they're stalwarts. Ah! Okay, hang on. Maybe I'd be better off facing this way, actually. Ah, that wasn't too hard. He thinks he's unassailable. Anyway, third place tie. Lots of things just killed themselves for me for no reason. What is all this mess anyway? There we go. That's the idea. My gosh, this death sound takes forever. He says as he dies. 14th place tie. I'm the 41st guard. I'll help you as I'm infested. Stand in front of second door and behind the first door and I'll activate right pressure plate. You're infested? I'm sorry, what? You're infested. You're infested. Is the Empire the Zerg? Is that why infested? What? Is the Empire the Zerg now? He's infested. How did he get infested? Oh, hold on. He promised to do something for me, didn't he? Here's a very slow cutscene. Here's a very slow cutscene. Okay. Can I just, yeah, thank you. So that's kind of a problem. What is going on here to make that open? Close. Oh, okay. I think maybe I want to wait until something. I don't get it. I don't really get this. Alright, hang on. Maybe I should just do this. Like, there's exactly one turn, and that's not enough time to handle the problems that you have there. Alright, let's just try this again from the start. Start. So we have to kind of go both ways. Maybe I can make this work? Okay, if I had been facing this way instead. Wait, no? Huh. How is this supposed to be possible? Oh wait, maybe... No? No, really, how am I supposed to be able to do that in one turn? What? Oh. Okay, he died. Is that a result of him being infested? Was I right? Is the Empire the Zerg now? Because, okay, what I'm talking about are infested Terrans, like in StarCraft. In StarCraft, you have infested Terrans in like StarCraft Original, StarCraft 1, StarCraft. You have Terrans who are infested and basically they're bombs. Like they'll explode at people for reasons. That's like what they do. So like, was that guy getting ready to self-destruct and he decided to stand on the button for me? 21st place tie. It becomes darker. I think it becomes greener. Caves. These are caves. You must clear them. That's really, really specific. This is the upper dungeon. These are caves. Okay? Sure. Sure. Sure? What's this do? That closes the door, so don't go there. Why does that exist? Why are there just things that close doors on me? Weird. Yeah. I definitely understand what's going on in this room. 100% understanding is happening here. There's a little dance floor in there. Not sure why. So, yeah. I guess I'll just push this button and see what happens. Maybe not right on the turn the queens are trying to spawn, though. Okay. Why does this room have so many weird things in it? Like, what's the point? If that's all it was, why does it have all the things it does? And, well, what's this about? What's this about? Oh, hold on, there's more buttons. Let's see. Closes, closes, closes. Closes, closes, closes. So don't push those. Push this, I guess. I can just go around through where these are, I guess. That does a thing, I guess, that might be helpful later. Okay, now I just need to get all the rock golems out. And put one of them on the button, I presume. This is gonna be really tedious because there's so many rock golems. This is gonna take forever to move them out of their holes. Just saying. You maybe could have put the rock golems in a slightly less tedious to reach place. Would have been an idea you could have used for this concept of a level room placehold thing type stuff. Just a suggestion. There we go. It's enough to make that doable. Now I just need to pull every single one of these teeth out. I mean rock golems. Oh boy, 9 more. Maybe if there were just a few less of them, this wouldn't be so tedious. That would be nice. There's not even really a small enough amount of space available for this to be a waste disposal problem. It's just, you know, you have to painstakingly pull every single rock golem out all by itself, individually, maybe 2 at a time if you're lucky. Last 2. Last one. There.
This maneuver I've seen before.
You've seen this maneuver before? Which maneuver? The maneuver of put lots of rock golems on disco floors where it's really annoying to reach them? I'm sure you have, because you probably did it, because you're with the Empire. What was I saying? Anyway, going by what happened the last time, I wasn't really sure what a room was about. I'm just gonna recklessly charge in and see what happens. Okay. So in this case, there's actually some kind of purpose or meaning behind things. We need only this stupid maze after those caves? It's not so easy. What's not so easy? I don't understand what you're talking about. Let's just get rid of that. Okay. I need one of you. Come on. Go away. I'm busy. I'm trying to actually do a puzzle over here. One less. Okay, there. Now, I think I can make this work. Just need you to move one to the west. And I can kill this queen and hop through here, and nothing good happens. Oh boy. Okay, I get it. I needed to... Yeah, I just needed a roach there instead of a golem, that's all. So instead of pulling you there, I'm gonna take an opportunity to turn my sword around and kill those roaches. And pull you up to here. Great. I'll just get rid of these two if possible. Oh dear. I have to start over again for stupid reasons. Oh boy. Alright, well let's try this. Just pull these things out so where they're all on the same side. This is some slightly obnoxious light use. I mean, I can't say anything because I've been much more obnoxious personally, like in my Christmas hold entry, my Christmas contest entry hold entry. There. That's what I need rock golems to be set up like. Rock golem corpses, I mean. Now I just need to somehow pull a roach through in the right way to where they'll be in the right place when I need them to be. So I guess that will work right there. Oh, whoops. Now I need to pull a guy through up this way. Derp. Okay. At least this has something resembling a puzzle, even if its grammar is horrific. Here, those stairs lead me to deep underground. You want to go deep underground? Okay. Here's a clone potion. Clone potion, clone potion. Why is there all this other stuff here? I don't know. 4th place tie. "41st Slayer entered the Great Undergrowth. He must clear it from monsters to escape from dungeon." Sorry, I said undergrowth when it says underground. My mistake. Oh look, gel. 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 That's probably not the right way to cut this one, because we'll get trapped up there. Let's see. Maybe I should... No. I don't know. Oh, body kills, right. Maybe body kills will help here. Somehow? Yeah, I don't see how that could possibly help. Oh, duh. You just have more space when you open the door. Of course. Anyway. Man, he's still dying. He dies so slowly. It's ridiculous. Here's a weird-shaped button. I don't know why it exists. That's how you open the thing up. And then I don't really know how to kill the roaches in there. Maybe they'll just die on their own if I'm not around enough. Yeah, okay, that's the roaches gone, and then it's just the golems, which should be easier to stick in place. There we go.
I am unassailable.
I mean, apparently, yeah, totally. The way you die 17,000 times in a row, you're totally unassailable. I'm really disappointed that this hold seems adamantly against using the whole stealth angle as a puzzle. And just in every room, you just immediately stand on power tokens. I'm just kind of disappointed in that, I don't know. It would help if perhaps we had a... What's this about? Anyway, it would help if we had a if there existed like a default character you could use for things that had body kill capabilities, but didn't have stealth, I guess. Because then you wouldn't have this problem. So how is this supposed to work? I obviously have to keep the giant alive long enough to push the button way up here. But there's no way to do that, because I would have to walk all the way over here to do that. And then I would have to open that and kill these, and then I would finally be able to lure him over here. There's not enough vertical space to keep him, you know, pacing up and down here either. So how is this supposed to be possible? I don't get it. This doesn't appear to actually be possible at all. I'd have to be able to move all the way over there in like 2 steps, and then all the way back in just as many. So as far as I can tell, this room is not solvable. Let's see. I guess I'm out of rooms. It's like 3:50 and I intend to cook tonight, so it's pretty close to when I would want to quit anyway. So this seems like a good place to stop off. Just this, here's a room that's impossible. Anyway, let's see. That's not what I want. So today we did like 5. Duncan the Graveyard Guard, which was fun, interesting, kind of confusing, ended on a kind of bad note, but could have stood to be less linear, I feel like, in order to have really worked best. Dungeon Country, which was described entirely in commas and periods, and was pretty easy overall. I mean, not easy. It was interesting. It was much more interesting than I expected something made in early days to be, and had some real actual puzzles in it. Dungeon Master, which I mastered because there's 5 levels, each of which is just 1 room. It was pretty easy and it had a little bit of interesting stuff, I guess. Dungeon of Broken Orbs, which exists. Seems like somebody had a lot of really, what's the word? Someone really understood how broken and cracked orbs affect bombs and things, and really, really wanted other people to understand that as well, and created like a really hard exam of that, of if you know those things, I guess. But I didn't like the attempt at a story because it really isn't a story, it's just, you know, go down and do the thing. Like, that story could have been communicated in 1 paragraph instead of the 7 or 8 or 10 that they actually went for, and the paragraphs that they actually went for weren't any more interesting to read, I feel like. Just my opinion as a writer/reader of things. They could have done a better job with the writing and the handling of the story, but it was all front-loaded, so I don't know. And then Dungeon of Souls, which is an interesting hold. It has some nice puzzles involving using Slayer movement and body kill capabilities. And I got stuck, but that's okay. So, number 40, I guess, will finally leave D behind and begin to do E's. Not easy, but E's. I think I've already downloaded all the E holds that there are, so that's good. Oh, except for combined hazards. Maybe we'll start with that next time. Remind me about that. I actually have played that before in testing, but maybe it'll be interesting to give it a look. Anyway, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and have a good week.